So welcome back, mathematics class. I've said earlier, have simple linear equations that are set up. I can see Oluwaseyi Ifeluwa. Can you unmute yourself and then extend your greetings to participants in the room? An equation is a statement that two algebraic expressions are equal in value. Anytime we talk about equation generally, we have this sign in that expression. This is the sign. Call it equality sign, or we also call it equal to. Expression of this form is said to be a linear equation. And we have 4 minus 4x equals to 9 minus 12x. And in any given equation, you always have what we call the unknown. The unknown here is the x. Of course, why is it called the unknown? Just the way the name is being called unknown. It means we don't know its value. That is just the meaning. And as a result of that, whenever you have an equation, it is expected that you have a letter or more than one letter in it. But as for this case, we call it linear equation, so we have just one letter there. And you have to find its value. That is why it is called unknown. So this equation is only true when x has a particular variable value. Of course, you find the value of x later on. We are going to be learning that. So example of this sort is called a linear equation. However, there is another meaning or way by which you can also identify linear equation. The word linear here means straight. So it is possible for us to draw a graph of this equation. So whenever we draw the graph of this linear equation, it usually gives us a straight line. And that is another reason why it is called linear equation. Now, when you look at the unknown, you can see that we have the unknown here, which is x, beside 4, minus 4. We also have it beside what? Beside the minus 12. The degree, that is the power. The power of x here is 1. The power of x here is also what? 1. That's quite possible. So here we have the power of x. The highest power of x will be 1. Then it is also called what? Linear equation. So that's a key now. So having said that, let's move on to the next slide. You can copy that the chip. And let's move on to the next slide. It's another fact you need to learn. To solve an equation means find the real number value of your node that makes the equation true. So like I said, in a given equation, you always have an unknown there. It could be any letter, X, Y, Z, A, B, and so on like that. So here we have 4 minus 4x equal to 9 minus 12x. So if they ask us to solve this equation, it means we should find a value, a number value for x. That is a fact. Solving an equation means finding the real number value of your node, x in this case. And that is what will make the equation. 4 minus 4x equals to 9 minus 12x. Are you there with me? Now we have 4 minus 4x equals to 9 minus 12x. Now, the question is, how do we solve this? How do we solve this? Let's move on to the next slide to see the approach. The question is, like I said, is 4 minus 4x equals to this. Now, you notice that in any given equation, you always have what we call the like terms and the unlike terms. From the word like time. Like time. Like times are terms that actually what? Look similar. When they look similar, then we call them what? Like terms. Now, for the terms that are not similar, we do not alike. Then we call them unlike terms. In this case now, the like terms here, this equation are minus 4x and minus 12x. These are what? Like Similarly, we have 4 and 9. We are like 10. 4 and 9 are like 10. Now, why is it that minus 4x and minus 12x are like 10? The reason is because when you look at the two terms I mentioned, there is also when you look at 4 and 9, they are also like 10. 4 and 9 are like 10 now because they are just ordinary numbers. They do not contain x. They are just ordinary numbers. That is that. So the first thing we do now is let us add. We think about what to do. How do we deal with it? One, look at it very well. You can decide to bring your minus 12x to the other side, then you bring your 4 to what to reach 9. The question is why? Why do we have to do so? It's a failure there. Why do we have to do so? Now I'll tell you now. Since we call, like terms can only go with like terms. So that is just the rule. That is the rule of solving an equation. So 4 and 9, we make sure that 4 and 9 stay together, and minus 4x and minus 12x stay together. So in order to ensure that they stay together, let's start with minus 12x. We want minus 12x to go and meet minus 4x. To do that, the opposite, the additive reciprocal of minus 12x is plus 12. If we add plus 12x here, the 12x will leave this side. So let's move on to the next slide. Look at it. Add 12x to both sides. You must know the reason why we are doing so. You actually want to remove the minus 12x from here. So that is the reason. So have 4 minus 4x plus 12x equals to 9 minus 12x plus 12x. So you just add additive inverse of minus 12x. So from here, this is minus 12x plus 12x. That will cancel. It will remain 9. Can you see it properly? Then when you look at this one now, we have 4 minus 4x. So minus 4x plus 12x. That is 8x. That's 12x minus 4x. That's 8x. So now, when you get here also, remember that you cannot add 8x and 4x together. Right? They are unlike 10. So how do we make up? Notice that 4 and 9 are like 10. So what do? You have to remove this 4 here. The 4 here is plus, is positive. So to remove it, we need to subtract. So then you say subtract 4 from both sides. Subtract 4 from both sides. So look at the illustration. We have 4 plus 8x and minus 4 equal to 9 minus 4. So we have 4 minus 4 is done. It will make 8x. And that minus 4 will give you 5. And from here, we need the value of x. Okay, now we have 5 over 8. If you have any question, you can ask. If not, then you can go ahead, write down the solution. Now, let's move on to example 2. This is another typical example. Equals to 3. So how do we solve it? Simple. So this is very simple. And there's a slogan I usually use for this. Whenever we have fraction in an equation, on both sides of an equation, we have single fraction equal to another single fraction. Then I use this slogan. I say fraction. Then my students will say cross multiply. Again, fraction, cross multiply. So look at it now. In this situation, whenever you have a single fraction equal to another single fraction. Now, so we are back now. The network is so now step 1, you cross multiply. You write that 3 as 3 over 1. So whenever you cross multiply, you can draw a cross across the equality sign. So look at it. That will be 1 times n times 1. We have 1 times n times 1. Then we have 4 times what? Times 3. Look at it. cross multiply. This is x. And cross multiply. So in that case, we have 1 times x, 1 times n times 1. We have n, then we have 4 times 3. What do you have now? Now 4. So this is very direct question. So you can only cross multiply here if you have a single fraction equal to another single fraction. So you can write that down. That's down with you. We have an explained the topic for today, simple linear equation. So, as I said, it shouldn't be new to you, but it will be like a revision as well. And an additional what? Additional knowledge too as well. So, we have simple linear equation. We said that an equation is a statement that two or different expressions are equal in value. Anytime you have an equation, take note that this symbol here, whereby cursor in, this symbol must be present in that expression. And that symbol is called equality sign or equality equal to. So, and usually we have two sides of the equation. Of every equation, we have the left-hand side and we have the left-hand side, and 9 minus 4x is on the right-hand side. Then we are actually looking at linear equation. Linear equation now. So which means apart from linear equation, we have other types of equation as well. We have quadratic equation and so on and what and so forth. But for the purpose of this class, we are looking at linear equation. Now, why do we call this linear? Linear, the word linear means straight. So why do we now call it linear equation? It is because when we draw the graph of this equation, we obtain a straight line graph. So a straight line is usually obtained whenever we draw a linear equation, and that is why it is named linear equation. And in a linear equation, we usually have what we call unknown. The unknown here is represented or denoted by a letter. In this case now, the unknown here is x, as you can see. We have minus 4x here, we have minus 12x in the same equation. So this x is called the unknown. It is the unknown because we don't actually know its value. We don't know the value of this x. That's why it is called unknown. There are some times, yes, we also call it variable. Variable means that it can change its value. It is not constant. So the value of x here can also be what? Can also be made variable. That it can vary. You can change it from 0 and so on and what and so forth. So it is called unknown, or we also call it what? Variable. So now, another reason why we also call it linear. This is another way by which we can identify a linear equation. Look at this x here. The power is 1. There's no power. There's not at the top of x here. So since there's no power, the power there is 1. The power here is 1. Then the highest power x here is also 1, as you can see. So in that case, Aisha, are you with me?
Yes,
Aisha, are you with me? Good. So the highest power of x here is 1. Then whenever you have the highest power of your node being 1, then we call it linear equation. So this is linear equation now. And we have the left-hand side equal to the right-hand side. And that is what we have in the linear equation. So I won't say that. We need to go to example. But before we go to example, whenever you have an equation, what you normally do to an equation is to solve it. So what do you do when we have to solve an equation? Whenever we are asked to, yes, we need to find the unknown. That is what we do. Aisha, are you with me?
Yes.
Good. So to solve an equation, it means you need to find the value of your known. That is the meaning of what? Of solving an equation. So the unknown in the above equation is x. So whenever we need to solve it, we just find the value of x. And what does that mean also again? It means you ensure that the value of x is on one side. Look at what we have here now. X is on one side and the value is on the other side. So looking at this solution now, it has been solved. Now let's go back. Can you write this down simply? Linear equations. Write down the short. Are you done writing it?
No.
Once you are done, you can let me know. This is the part.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. So write this now. To solve an equation means to find the real number value.
I'm done.
Okay, good. Now let's look at this example. Write down this example quickly.
I'm done.
Good. Now, can you read out this example? Read it out quickly.
What do you say?
Say, read out this example. Read it out.
An equation is statement that two algebraic expressions are equal in value for 4 minus 4x equals to 9 plus 12x. Is a linear equation
Exactly.
with an
okay,
unknown
just this
x.
example is what I asked you to read. Don't worry. So
Okay.
we are asked to solve this equation. Solve 4 minus 4x equals to 9 minus 12x. Good. Now to solve a linear equation, what it means is that you should make x to be on one side and its value to be on the other side. Now, to do that, in any given equation, we always have what is called like terms.
Yes, sir.
From that word, like means things that are similar, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, in this case now, can you tell me the terms that are similar here in this equation here? Tell me.
4 and 9 with minus 4x and minus 12x.
Exactly, correct. 4 and 9 are what? They are like terms, and minus 4x and minus 12x are like terms. Very good. So now this tells us that you can only add and subtract like terms. That is the only thing you can do. So that is the reason why here we have that we have 4 minus 4x. You cannot subtract minus 4x from 4. No. Why? Because they are not like terms. So our next step now is to bring the like terms together. That is the next step. So let's go to the next slide. Before I do that, look here. We can decide to bring minus 12x to what? To the left side, and we bring 4 to the other side, to the right hand side. So that it will come and meet 9. But let us do it one after the other anyway. So let's look at it now. Now, look at the solution here. What's the first step here? Can you tell me the first step?
Add 12x to both sides.
Now, the reason why are we adding 12x to both sides? Now, the reason is because, look at it. I want to remove this minus 12x away from here. If I should add, the opposite of minus 12 is what? Plus 12, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Good. So what I will do is I will add plus 12x so that the minus 12x can be eliminated. So that's what I do here.
Okay.
Good. So we now have 4. You bring the 4 down. Then we have minus 4x plus 12x. Here it means plus 12 minus 4x. That's the meaning. The minus signifies that it signifies that you are owing. It's a debt. So this plus here means you have. So 12 minus 4, that's what? 8x. Do you get that?
Yes,
so now this minus 12x and plus 12x will cancel out. And that is what we want. So it will now remain 9. If you look at it again, you will notice that, look at my cursor, 4 and 8x are not what? They are not like terms. Are
Yes,
they?
sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So we cannot add them together. So what we need to do is this. We need to remove this 4. To remove this 4 now, you have to subtract. Why are we subtracting? We are subtracting because the plus here is 4, is plus 4. So to remove the 4, you have to subtract 4. The opposite of what? Of 4. We call it additive opposite. Additive what? Addition. Additive
Additive what?
inverse. Additive inverse. Additive inverse of 4 is minus 4. Inverse means the opposite. Okay. So now we have subtract 4 from both sides.
Ṣé owó wájú mọ́tò ó máa gbé ke síbẹ̀ tó bá lẹ́yìn
4
lọ bá wọn ẹ kó
plus
fẹ́ jo mọ́tò ó dẹ̀ kó ní
8x
ọjà jáde pẹ̀lú mọ́tò
minus 4
wọn ní báfù
equals to
ló máa
9 minus 4. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Aisha, can you see it? Good. So we have 4 minus 4. 4 minus
Yes,
4 is
sir.
0. Okay. Then it will remain 8x. So what is 9 minus 4?
5.
Good. Now, when you now get here, we are almost there. We are almost there. We need
Hello?
to eliminate the 8.
ó ti wà
Because
náà gbà wọn mẹ́.
according to the equation, to solve an equation, the unknown x must be on one side and its value must be on the other side. So we divide both sides by 8. So look at it now. I'm dividing both sides by 8. The 8 will cancel 8, then it will remain x. Then finally, our final answer is 5 over 8. 5 over 8 is our final answer. Did you get that, please? Aisha, are you there? Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Good. So you can put it down. You can write it now. Are you done? Hello, Aisha, are you done? Hello, Aisha, are you done now? Write example 2 quickly. Hello, Aisha. Now write this example 2. To solve this example 2, we have solved 1 over 4n equals to what? Equals to 3. Now, how do we solve this? Aisha, please, can you make comments so that I will know that you are still with me here? Unmute yourself and make some comment, please. Hello, are you there? Aisha? Okay. The next question is this. We have solved 1 over 4n equals to 3. From what we are seeing here, we have a fraction on the left-hand side, and we have a whole number on the right-hand side. So there's a slogan I do use for my students. Whenever we have a fraction, a single fraction or single fractions on both sides of an equation, I say fraction. And then the reply should be cross multiply. So fraction, cross multiply. This 1 over 4n means n over 4. And this 3 here means 3 over 1. So let's move on to the next slide. So we have 1 over 4n equals to 3 over 1. So since we have, like I said, we have fraction. The next thing is to do what? Is to cross multiply. When you cross multiply, we have, look at it, you are crossing like this. Look at my cursor. Just like if you are writing an X. So 1, n, and 1, we multiply each other. So that's why we have 1 times n times 1. Then we have 4, we multiply 3. So 1 times n times 1 will give you n. And we have 4 times 3 will give you 12. N equals to 12. Aisha, are you there with me? You can write it down. And if you have any question, you can ask this. Okay, we are true, right? So let's move on to the next one. Example 3. Solve 4x equals to 3x plus 5. Aisha, are you there? We are drawing on my wall. So we have number 3 now. Solve 4x equals to 3x plus 3 plus 5. Aisha, please, can you tell me what is what are the like terms here? Let's put it that way. What are the like terms here? What are the like terms here, Aisha? In this equation, 4x equals to 3x plus 5. Now, the like terms here are 4x and 3x. So now, having identified the like terms, it means that we cannot add 3x and 5 together. No. So what we need to do is to ensure that 4x and 3x are on the same side. Okay? Aisha, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. You're not responding. So now, let's move on to the next one now. The next step. We need to take away this 3x from here. So how do we take it away? We find the additive inverse of 3x. 3x here is positive. So what we need to do, we need to subtract it in order to remove it. So you see, subtract 3x from both sides. Now look at it. This is the expression. 4x minus 3x equal to 3x plus 5. Then minus what? Minus 3x. So 4x minus 3x will give you x. Because 4 minus 3 is what? Is 1. So that's 1x. So as a proportion, I don't say 1x, you say x. Then it will remain 5 because we are going to have 3x minus 3x. That is 0. Then it will remain 5. So the final answer is what? Is 5. X equal to 5. You can put it down quickly. Okay. I guess you are through writing that. Now let's move on to classwork. I will need to give you classwork. You have this classwork now. Solve the following equation. Solve the following equation. So we have 2a equals to 9 minus a. So we have 2 over 3t equals to 8. Then number 3, 2k equals to 3k plus 4 minus 5k. So Aisha has left the meeting. So let's look at equations with brackets. Example 4. Equation with brackets. As you can see from this from the slide, the equation here is having bracket. So we have 3 into bracket 4c minus 7 into brackets minus 4 into bracket 4c again in minus what? Minus 1 equals to 0. Of course, it is an equation, and an equation we always have equality what? Sign. That is equal to 0. Now, how do we solve? The first thing to do is to expand step 1. That's what we do. We have to expand the expression. It wants in the bracket. You open the bracket through expansion. If we are opening the brackets, 3 inside the bracket to multiply whatever is in the bracket, and minus 4 to multiply whatever is in the other bracket, call it expansion. So here we have 4. We have 3 times 4c. That will give you 12c. Then we have 3 times minus 7. We have minus 21. We have expanded. We have opened the bracket for that one. Then the second one, minus 4 times 4c. We have minus 16c. Minus 4 times plus 1, we have plus 4 equal to 0. Now, the job has been made easier here. Why and how? It is because when you look at it, you notice that all the numbers are on the same side. All the numbers are on the same side here. So we have 12. So in that case, we can actually add like terms together and leave the unlike term on their own. So how do I mean? Here we have 12c and minus 1 and minus 16c. They are like terms. So 12c minus 16c, we have minus 4c. Why is minus 4c? It is because when you look at minus 4, minus 16, minus I said indicate depth or depth. Then 12c, that's plus, it means your possession, what you have. So when you take away 12 from minus 16, then you are still going to be owing what? 4. So minus 4c. Then we have minus 21 plus 4. These are like terms. You are owing 21 naira and you have what? 4 naira. So you pay the 4 naira, then you are still going to be owing what? 17. And that's why we have minus of 17. Then from there, let's collect like terms. To collect our like terms, I share you about. Good. To collect our like terms now, we have to bring minus 17 to the other side. There are two ways. You either say collect like terms, or you say add 17 to both sides. You know, the additive inverse of minus 17 is 17 plus 17. So, or you take this minus 17 to meet 0. Whenever this occurs, the sign will always what? Change to the opposite sign. So this minus 17 is coming to this side to become plus what? Plus 17. And that's why we have plus 17 here. Meanwhile, minus 4c is what? Is maintained on the other side. Then step 4. What do? Take away this minus 4. How do you take it away? Divide both sides by minus what? Minus 4. And that's what we are doing here. So, and your finally, our answer will be what? Minus 17 over 4. Mind you, your negative should not given to the denominator. That is the rule. It should be at the top or just beside the bar. So this is the final answer. Any question, Aisha? You can write it down quickly. Aisha, you can signify. Are you there? So write this down quickly. Hello, Aisha. Okay, you are done writing that. Okay, let's move on to the solution. Write down the solution quickly. Okay, I guess you are through now. Are you to write it, please? Okay, I guess we are through by now. Now you have this classwork. Solve the following equations. You can put this down quickly before we go for the last aspect of topic, okay, which has to do with equations with fractions. Okay, now let's look at equations with fractions. Example 5. Solve 3x over 4 plus 1 whole number 2 over 3 equals to 2 over 3x. Now, I've written it down. Good. So now when you look at it, what do you notice in this question? What do you notice in this equation? Can you tell me, Aisha, what do you notice in this equation? Now, let me tell you now, what you notice is that it is made up of two types of fractions. We have a single fraction and a mixed number. So that the simple fractions are both proper fractions. We have 3x over 4 is a single fraction, and 2x over 3 is also a single fraction. Meanwhile, this one whole number 2 over 3 is a mixed number. So what do we do now? The first thing to do is to convert this mixed number to a single fraction like that. That's the first thing to do. So let's do that. Then after that, then you find the LCM of all the denominators. So again, first of all, change the mixed number to a single fraction. That's the first thing you do. Then 2, find the LCM of the denominators. So look at it now. Step 1, we have 3x over 4 minus 1 whole number 2 over 5 will become 5 over 2. How? You say you multiply the whole number, which is 1, by the denominator, which is 3. So 3 times 1, that's 3, plus 2, that is 5. You have 5 over 3 equals to 2x over what? Over 3. So that's the first step. Now, the step 2 I told you is that we should find the LCM. So let's find the LCM of the denominators. The denominators here are 4 and 3. You know, we have 3 here. So we can just take one of them. So we have 4 and 3. Find the LCM of 4 and 3. The LCM of the denominators now is what? 12. I believe you know how to find the LCM. And that is 12. So if the LCM is 12, step 4, the next step is to multiply. You multiply each of the terms by the LCM. And what is that? 12. So, you know, we have 3x over 4. So you multiply by 12. So that is 12 times 3x over 4. Then second one, we have minus 5 over 3. We multiply it also by what? By 12. By 12. We have 12 times 5 over 3. And the last one, we have 2x over 3. We also multiply by 12. Can you see now? Now, haven't done that. Let us see. Let me divide it before you. So 4 if divide 12, that will be 3. here, 3 will divide 12, that will be 4, and 3 will divide 12, yeah, that will be 4. So let's go to the next slide. So the 3, we have 3 times 3x minus the 4 times 5. Then the 4 also times what? 2x. So 3 times 3x, we have 9x. Minus 4 times 5, we have minus 20. Then 4 times 2x, we have 8x. Then from here, we collect what? Like 10. So collecting like terms, how do we by collecting like terms? You know, that is what we do in what? In solving an equation. We ensure we do what? We solve the like we solve for the unknown by using like terms, by collecting like terms. So this is 8x here. You bring 8x to go and meet what? 9x. The sign there is positive. So when it crosses the positive sign, it will become what? Negative, as I've said. Then this minus 22, we never stay with 9x. It will cross the sign and become what? Plus. So that's what happens there. So we now have 9x minus 8x equal to 20. So what is 9 minus 8? That is 1. Then we have 1x. But as a professional, you don't say 1x. You just say what? X. So our x equals to what? 20. If you have any question, you can ask, or you have your classwork and assignment. You have just 5 minutes left. So after writing, then the classwork, you can send in your answers to the platform because the time is almost gone. Now we do the marking of. Hello, Aisha, are you done writing? Yes, we are through by now with this slide. Okay, move on to the next one quickly. Okay, 30 minutes. You can write the classwork. Okay, I guess by now should be running up with the classwork. Should be running up with the classwork. Are you there now? By this, now we have come to the end of the mathematics class for today. Hoping to meet you guys on Wednesday. And by Wednesday, we hope that the class will be more full than this one. Will be more populated than what we have today. And the network will also be favorable to our students that will benefit from the summer coaching class at Excellence. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you. Again, well,